Every great journey begins with a single step. And at Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, that step is met with warmth, guidance, and possibility. Here, learning goes beyond the books. It is where future healthcare heroes are nurtured by passionate instructors who believe in their potential. From theory to practice, our healthcare assistant students gain real-world skills in real healthcare settings, preparing them to serve, support, and make a difference from day one. Because at Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, we don't just teach healthcare, we empower excellence. Admissions are now open for our January and February intakes. Step into your future today. Find us at Blessed House, 5th floor, opposite Garden City Mall. Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, empowering excellent healthcare.
A very good morning. Welcome back to KBN. This is Kingdom Business Network, and we are delighted to have you on board today. We are going to have a very wonderful conversation around an area that is very fundamental, that is very critical, that is key to our business operations, that is key to our day-to-day activities. This is not for just business people. This is for everyone who is called a Kenyan citizen above the age of 18 years old, because the conversation, or rather the topic of discussion today, is one that cuts through generations, one that cuts through professions, one that cuts through regional blocks and any other demographic. And today, we will be having a conversation about taxations, or rather what we may want to call the new era of tax compliance. This is not a conversation that makes most of us very comfortable, but guess what? It's also a conversation that many of us cannot afford to avoid. And therefore, today we've made it deliberate. Remember, next month is the month of June. And when June rings, every Kenyan understands what that specifically means. And before we proceed a lot, let me remind you that recently we've just been notified that our famous nil returns has been touched. And therefore, before that time comes and it becomes it starts to affect us, we need to be prepared. Remember, failing to plan is planning to fail. And with me is my wonderful co-host, Karen Njoki, and allow me to give her the pleasure of also welcoming all of us on board. Karibu sana, Karen.
Thank you so much, Lewis. It's a wonderful Thursday today. To our viewers, good morning. I'll be your co-host today as we discuss the famous topic, because we are nearing about filing tax returns on June, right? So it's going this time around, it's just beyond filing returns, how these digital systems are changing the way businesses and individuals operate. Tune in. Thank you, Sana. And thank you for Bran. Bran will be taking us through the conversation.
Amazing, amazing. And thank you so much also for dressing nicely and making our show beautiful. I think as much as we are having a very serious conversation, we don't have to look very serious. And Karen took that very seriously. Thank you so much, Karen. And with all the honors and privilege that has been given unto me this morning, allow me to introduce to us a young gentleman, a gentleman that I've seen cruise in many areas, navigate through many sectors in business, and with an acumen of business strategy and specifically finance-related conversations. This is not the one, or rather, this is not one of the conversations that you desire to miss. This is a gentleman we always host every year here on Kingdom Business Network, especially when we want to discuss money matters. And our guest today is none other than Ndome Brian. I've seen him cruise in many areas, including in the kingdom spaces. I've seen him mentoring young people in different spheres. And today we are privileged that we'll be demystifying this wonderful conversation around the new era of tax compliance with him. With all due respect, karibu sana Ndome Brian.
Thank you so much, my host, Bwana Ndege, and the co-host Karen. I'm so happy to be here once again. Ukiniona hapa, you know it's June and taxation is almost here. So my name is Ndome Brian, and I'm so happy to be in Kingdom Business Network. Another time, I think this is the 4th time now. From last year, we were here discussing digital marketing and also taxation for some time last year, and you engaged us very well. So I'm a consultant in finance, dealing so much with corporate finance and personal finance, that is finance management in institutions and in companies, and also personal finance, everything to do with savings, budgeting, investment, and all these things. This is my crowd. But today, we are here to discuss the taxman, the KRA. I'm here today to discuss him, and I know we shall have a wonderful conversation. Thank you for having me here once again.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and welcome aboard once again. And hoping we are going to have a wonderful one.
Yes.
Most of our viewers are already engaging with us, and I can see several of them saying, we are ready, we are eager, and we are prepared to engage in this wonderful conversation. And allow me to introduce to us this wonderful whole concept of what we are calling taxation. Precisely and concisely, Brian, maybe help us understand, why do we even pay tax? Is it mandatory, or will we die if we fail to pay taxes? And, you know, as a normal Kenyan, our argument has always been, we don't see where this money is going. So why are you even bothering us a lot to pay these taxes? Okay. Maybe we can start there. Okay. Why do we have to pay taxes?
Thank you, my host. First of all, I want to separate paying taxes from either criticism of the government of the day or either of the opposition or government, on which side you are seated. Taxation and paying taxes is an obligation of every Kenyan citizen. And it was there even in biblical times. Jesus is saying, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and give to God what belongs to God. Therefore, even before we discuss so much, taxation is an obligation. And the Kenyan man, the Kenyan citizen needs to come to terms with taxation as a way of funding their day-to-day lives in Kenya and funding their basic amenities like education, all the sectors, going to hospitals, going to roads, and all these things are funded by our taxes. And therefore, it's a good conversation, and we need to sensitize people more and more. Separate paying taxes with either you support the government of the day or you don't support the government of the day.
We would want to do so. But
we could use some transparency.
Exactly. And
where money goes.
Yes. And also people are saying that Kenya is a political economy. Yes. So we must bring politics in Ugali. We must bring politics everywhere. Yes, and politically, is it right for us to pay taxes based on the delivery?
Yes.
What we are paid compared to what we are receiving. Okay. Are they...
Well, that's debatable.
Okay.
That's debatable. And I wouldn't want us to engage so much on that side. Especially because governments come and go. But cultures are instilled in people, and they carry those cultures generations to generations. So when you're talking about things that might affect us even after the government of the day is gone, we've had several governments, Kenyatta, Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, and now we are with Ruto. All these people come and go, but our cultures remain. So which is this culture that we must instill? It's our responsibility to pay taxes and then keep the government on check. While we're paying taxes, let's keep questioning the government where they are taking our money, but ensure that we don't affect the culture of paying taxes, because it will be with us generations.
And Karen, there's something Brand said,
Yes.
and I think it's what drew my attention today, that we are in a new era of tax compliance.
Yes.
What precisely do you mean by a new era of tax compliance?
Today, I want to speak on behalf of the taxman, that is the KRA, and I want to commend them for the journeys they have walked in terms of improving our tax systems in Kenya. As we speak currently, they are on their highest in terms of their correction, and now they are contributing to our national budget. So what we call this new era? All along, we've been operating on a principle we call the principle of utmost honesty, where we've been filing our returns depending on what we feel like declaring. Is utmost honesty. KRA has been believing that what you're declaring, you are in your utmost honesty. You don't lie because you love your country. But all over, we've been seeing so many people not complying, so many people lying in their declarations. So there is a new era is transitioning us from the season of just declaring to now, does your declaration match your financial activities? Is what you're declaring actually matching your day-to-day activities in your business? So we're talking of digitalization of taxation and improvement and crossing of loopholes in the tax systems, and it is yielding very well. Congratulations to the taxman. So the new era is focusing on digitization and also crossing of the loopholes that ensures, in as much as you're declaring, your declarations are in line with your financial activities.
So are you saying you are happy that now?
Yes, on behalf of the taxman, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Who sent you here?
Why am I happy? Because now the taxman is able to account to a big percentage of our budget. You see, on the other hand, we've been borrowing to a big extent to fund our budget. But if the taxman is able to collect a big portion to fund our budget, I think I'm happy for that reason.
Okay.
We are reducing our borrowing.
I am suspecting who sent you, but I think we are cruising on very nicely. I don't know what, Karen, you think.
I can say when you talk about tax collectors, let me just put it in the Bible, tax collectors. They might rub our shoulders. They might rub our shoulders. So you mentioned about digital systems and following up on following up. Does your finances match what you declared?
Yes.
That is honesty.
Yes.
How has this technology, the way businesses and individuals approach tax compliance now today?
So how has
that digital system
Yes.
made, how is it going to change how businesses, individuals approach tax compliance? What does it really entail?
Okay, thank you. So this digital system entails several things. Number one, KRA is using artificial intelligence. They have several bots, and their bots are to ensure that they are able to bring all your accounts and all your financial activities together, so that what you're declaring is actually what you got. If you're able to import a car, we are able to use artificial intelligence to swap across that the immigration and get the data that you actually imported a vehicle. That is the artificial intelligence usage. They're using some bots to ensure that they are able to man and see your financial activities. Number two is the use of electronic invoice management systems. And this is the catch of the day. This is where every business should have e-teams. You should have this invoicing management. Actually, according to the Act as we speak, it is illegal in Kenya to run a business without e-teams. Everyone should be producing the electronic tax management systems invoice. It is mandatory. If you're not doing it, you are acting against the law. So this is the best of what they have introduced currently, because it's able to monitor every transaction, every expense, every sale, every revenue you're getting. It must go through e-teams. I think this is the best catch they have introduced at the moment.
And maybe you can help our viewer understand exactly what is e-teams, because it seems like this humongous big name.
Okay.
And does it mean myself with my Kabotika, I need an e-team? It seems like a system that should be utilized by these big companies or something.
Okay.
Is it one like CRM? Make us understand what is it.
Thank you. So an e-teams is basically like a POS. It's like your book. We've been having invoice books and receipts where you write a receipt as you give it to the customer. So we've been doing it all along. The only big problem is coming where now it's being electronic, first of all, and number two, it's given by KRA. So anything given by KRA, first of all, we object. We don't want to receive anything given by KRA. But it has no difference with our manual book. The only difference is that it's electronic. Number two, it's like the POS that you go and get in the supermarket, where you are generating an invoice and you're given just a normal invoice. The only difference is this time loud. It's from the KRA side. They are the main developers of these e-teams. And how easy is it to get it? Very easy. It's as easy as registering for it online, and then you have it. How easy is it generating invoices from the e-teams? It's very easy again. It's just logging in via Chrome or downloading an e-teams portal. It's there on Play Store. You download it, you log in, and then you begin giving your customers these invoices that are tax compliant. Yes.
Now, allow me to interrupt. Now, this brings up the question. We have mama bogas, we have small shops, the SMEs. But is it an obligation? Is it a must? What would happen if I won't take the ETIMS?
Yes. Several things will happen. Number one, there will be a mismatch of what you declare. Those people you're calling mama bogas are very poor in record keeping. So what e-teams is doing, it's actually helping you in record keeping. When you have your e-teams, all your data is auto-populated in your in your iTax portal. So it's helping them in record keeping. Something has been a big challenge to the mama bogas and the boutiques peoples all along. Very few do record keeping. It's helping them at that point. Number two, in the principle of utmost honesty, is helping the mama boga in declaring the actual income that they make annually. So it will help them in ensuring that the taxes they are paying are the actual taxes. There will be no overpayment, or rather there will also not be down payment of the taxes. It's helping us in honesty and in declaring the right thing we're supposed to be declaring.
And maybe can we say that these systems for surveillance, taking note of, one, all your transactions are being monitored. You've said that it will help populate all your data in their systems.
Yes.
Second, you talked about a bot, an AI configured bot that has the capacity to skim through all your financial activities through all your platforms, including immigration, including import and everything. Are we secure anymore?
Okay.
Are we being watched every other minute?
Okay.
Is this a surveillance system?
I would say it's nothing new. It's nothing new at all. Supermarkets have been doing it. So why do we have all these things? There is no introduction of something new. What they're doing, they are tightening compliance. Everything is as it has been. Since you're born, you've been receiving a receipt from supermarket, and they have been having a VAT written on it. So KRA had sat down and asked themselves, now that we want to meet our budget and we want to increase what we are raising through our tax collection, what do we do? And they realized there is a gap in compliance. Only a few people are complying. So what do we do? Let's now go even to the rest of the people and make them comply. So I want to make the common Mwananchi understand what is happening is not something new. It's just that we've not come to you yet. We've only been focusing on these people, but now that we want to increase what we are collecting, we want everyone to be compliant. Let not only those big farms be the ones that are complying, let every Kenyan be compliant. So it's not surveillance, we are just effecting compliance, and it's feeling like there is some issue with the common Mwananchi, feeling like it's not what it should be happening, but it's what should be happening. It's what has been in the law since 1990s. We're just effecting what has been there.
And maybe let's challenge its practicality in this sense. Most of those SMEs, the small and medium enterprises, most of their financial activities, tracking them is not an easy thing. Case in example, I operate a boutique here in Roysambu, and I purchase my clothes in wholesale from Isli. When I go to Isli, they refuse to give me the eTIM receipt. So how am I going to key in that data into, or rather, how am I supposed now from my end to be transparent, whereas from the source, there's no transparency?
What will happen? There will be a ripple effect. There will be a ripple effect in that suppliers must comply. Because as a buyer, at the end of the year, I'll have to comply and I'll have to validate my expenses. Let me, for instance, give you a scenario. We've been filing returns for several clients, and you have an income of 1 million. And you have also made expenses, or you have expenses of 800,000. That is to mean you had only a revenue or rather a profit of 200,000. So you should only pay 30% of the 200,000.
60,000.
And now, in this 1 million, you cannot validate all the expenses you had. So KRA is assuming you have a whole 1 million of income. There are a few allowable expenses, but they have a cap. traveling via plane, 50,000. There are several allowable incomes, deductions, expenses, but they're not common to the Mwananchi. So what will happen? That client that I'm having currently, who was unable to validate their expenses because they had no items backed invoices, next year, or rather in this year 2026, they will only buy and trade with the suppliers that are items compliant, because that will have a ripple effect on their filing next year. So it's either you comply as a supplier or I change you, because at the end of the day, I'll have to validate my expenses. So it is a two-way.
Let's talk of like the market. I just gave an example.
Yes.
I have been there
Yes.
personally, and I can assure you that less than 5% of the suppliers are e-Teams compliant.
Okay.
Does it mean we stop now transactions, or what should we do?
Of course, there is a lot that is going. Civic education, a lot of upgrades, and a lot of KRA being a bit merciful as we seek to. It's not something that is being pressed to the economy. They are unveiling it gradually, and helping the common Mwananchi accept that it is something they should do and they should comply. Just like we've been having people filing nil returns all along, and they have been having income. So it's the time now we are getting to them. So I would say there is also a gap we will have to give ourselves to make ourselves compliant. Okay. But there are those that must comply immediately. There is an SME when you're Shafika level, they have to comply. So for that case, I think there will be a bit of back and forth, a bit of pushing, making the supplier be compliant. The supplier doesn't want, but at the end of the day, even that supplier will be compliant. At the rate of which there is manning and surveillance, they have to comply.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I think we are cruising on very nicely, and especially when we bring on board the conversation of e-Teams and digital taxation.
Yes.
I think it's a conversation that our viewers need to take a lot of notes and be very keen, because it is affecting, or rather it is cutting across everyone. Yes. And the other day I had people arguing that KRA soon catching up with our M-Pesa statement.
Sure.
Is it possible?
It is possible.
Are they coming to do so?
They are coming.
Should we be worried?
We should not be worried. We should not be worried. Or they are coming to take is what's theirs. They are coming for what's theirs.
Okay.
So what we should be focusing on is what we're doing in Faith Today TV, sensitizing the common Mwananchi. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
Hey, that's the
I wonder what it
Karen,
entails.
are you ready to give to Caesar?
I feel like they're digging into my pockets way deeper.
Okay.
Yesterday I met a certain gentleman. They were given a contract with the IEBC during the continuous whatever enrollment program they were running last month. And they were supposed to be paying around 90,000. Then the guy received around 65.
Because of deductions.
Because of so many deductions, and because now he is not a person who is employed on normal days. He was like, these people, I don't want to be political, but he was like, this government is not doing the right thing. Are contractors also subjected to same tax structures like employed people?
Yes, we have the same for everyone. Contractors 30%. For the employed people, of course, they have their monthly deductions that they are receiving, so they are not subject to the same. Of course, we have the several tax brackets, and we were able to discuss them last year when we were here. Or others are in rental income, others are in income, others are in turnover, others are in VAT. Everyone is in their different, others are in withholding tax. So we have these different tax brackets that everyone is falling under. So there is a temptation of discussing policies today as opposed to discussing what actually the common Mwananchi is feeling. KRA, as an institution that is given the mandate by the common Mwananchi, is just doing what they are supposed to be doing. So let's comply with KRA, and then on the other side, blame the government. I want us to handle them differently. So my good friend who was taxed on the 90,000 and received 65,000, KRA has no issue. If they did not comply, there would have been more damage, court, freezing of the account by KRA just doing what they are supposed to do. So let's see what we do in 2027 for the government. But when we're talking about KRA today, let's ask ourselves, now that the law is already there and the KRA is following the law, what must the common Mwananchi do?
Yeah, I think you've passed a very significant point there, that we need to see what we are going to do in 2027 and proceed very nicely. I think it is also of essence, as we wind up our first segment, you tell our viewers whether eTeams is actually helping us reduce tax evasions. Because today you came here very prepared to represent the taxman.
Yes.
And tell us whether it's helping us reduce tax evasion.
Okay.
And is there a direct impact on the other end, our income, our revenues as a nation? Yes.
There will be an impact on both sides, on the side of the taxman and the common mwananchi. Many of the times I've gone to buy even common things, even a smartphone or anything, and then they're asking you, do we give you an eTeams compliant invoice? And then you are torn between saying yes or no. Because if you say yes, there will be an addition of 16% VAT. But if you say no, you will buy at 16% lesser. So many Kenyans have been opting for paying 16% lesser. But now the taxman is ensuring the seller doesn't have the option of asking you whether you want with eTeams or you doesn't want, because at the end of the day, they need to validate their expenses and the revenues they are making. So there will be a ripple effect on the common mwananchi. We'll pay VAT more, we'll pay withholding tax more, we'll pay every tax more. Not even more, we'll pay as it ought to be. We'll pay what is legally theirs and what we are supposed to be paying. If you are earning 100,000, 30% belongs to the taxman at the end of the year. You just enjoy the 70% and remember to give 10% to God. So as you're remembering the 30%, I'm sure you still remember the 10% there. 40% in your money is not yours as we speak. What will happen on the other side? KRA will be able to meet the bigger portion of our budget through what they are collecting. So after they have done that, they give it to the political government, and then from there is now where we can always press from that side through maandamano and voting, and also putting the government on check. But they will have a pinch on the common mwananchi who will feel more pain, especially with the taxing that is happening. And I have two ways of arguing it. As a community leader, I feel the common mwananchi should not be taxed the way we're taxing them. Because there is a consumer income that should not be taxed. That should not only be for catering for bread and what we are eating day to day. That one should not be subjected to a lot of taxing. above that idea. But on the other side now, the tax man is effecting low. The government now falls in between. They are supposed to give us a solution. I think that's my take.
And maybe as we wind up its office, and I remind our viewers that Bran is here and very prepared to represent the taxman. Make sure you throw as many questions as possible to him. So that we have an engagement with you. And maybe, Brian, for digestion, I would also say that if we are talking of a sensitization period, I think the best sensitization is showing Kenyans that where we take your money, it is actually doing the intended work. There is no better sensitization than that. We will feel more honored to pay and honor our tax obligations in such a regard, other than so many policies and pressing us to and manning us to make sure we comply. Compliance is actually very easy in Kenya. Just make sure that what you said our money will do, it actually do. So make sure you pass that information to the one who sent you. And in just 2 minutes, we are going to be back and we are going to proceed with this wonderful conversation. June is coming and you better be prepared. See you in 2 minutes. Don't touch that dial.
Every great journey begins with a single step. And at Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, that step is met with warmth, guidance, and possibility. Here, learning goes beyond the books. It is where future healthcare heroes are nurtured by passionate instructors who believe in their potential. From theory to practice, our healthcare assistant students gain real-world skills in real healthcare settings, preparing them to serve, support, and make a difference from day one. Because at Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, we don't just teach healthcare, we empower excellence. Admissions are now open for our January and February intakes. Step into your future today. Find us at Blessed House, 5th floor, opposite Garden City Mall. Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, empowering excellent healthcare.
Yeah, and it said a good answer knows when to leave the stage. I think I threw you a question that I didn't allow time to get a response because that should remain so. And I know you are throwing in your questions, as many of them as possible, because Brian is very ready. I told you I know who sent him. And he's representing his boss very well, the KRA. And today we are here to get clarity, to get answers, to understand, because I believe it's always easy to comply from a point of understanding.
Sure.
Because unlike previously, when we didn't know democracy in Kenya, right now, I think that is what also backed the principle of utmost honesty,
Yes.
our democracy, because we believe that we are patriots, we love our nation, and there's nothing, even as Kenyans, that make us proud, like feeling that Kenya is ahead, like Kenya is the best. So I can assure you, Kenyans never have any problem with tax compliance, with paying taxes. We are actually very happy to do so. The only concern with Kenyans is what I stated as we were winding up, that sometimes we feel betrayed, that we want to be very obedient, we want to comply, but on the other end, we are not feeling a ripple effect. But I think that is just a message that is supposed to be passed to the policy makers and legislators. But for now, allow me to remind us that Faith Today Television, we are celebrating our third year anniversary in just a few days. 3rd of July 2026 will be our big day. And guess what? This could be no better. This could have not been any way better, like how it has been, courtesy of you, our viewer. You are the people who have made our sessions as glamorous as they have been. You are the people who have always shared our content with your friends, with your family, with your peers, with your workmates, and everyone. You are the people who have always supported us. You are the people who've been praying for us. And we can't celebrate this wonderful moment without acknowledging that wonderful input that you've always accorded unto us. And this is also an invitation to you who is in business, precisely our members of Kingdom Business Network, you who we have been growing together, you who we have been transforming our businesses together. We are giving you some good offers. You are also welcome. Our ticket is only 5,000. Make sure you come. And also, if you want to book a table for your team, to book a table for your company, make sure you do so. Through the numbers, we have our numbers there. We have different packages, inclusive or inclusive of TV adverts, social media adverts, and so many other advantages. 3rd of July is our big day. Make sure you engage with us as we continue to build our businesses. Every member of our network will be present. It's a day you can't afford miss. And as we progress, I think we've been having a wonderful moment here with Ndome, Brian, our financial consultant. Is it a consultant or expert? I think you can't consult if you're not an expert.
That's it.
I think I got it right there. So allow me to hand it over to Karen so that she can also help us choose the next level of engagement. Karibu sana, Karen.
Asante sana, Coach Lewis. Brian, we often see the challenge. It's not always about compliance because everybody, they all have a mindset of whenever before June, I have to file my own personal returns. But also for businesses, you have to. It's something you naturally do. But again, it's understanding what this new compliance really entails. What are some of the common tax mistakes business make that later create serious financial strain? Because you find you have a legal case, maybe you have penalties. Can you venture into that?
Thank you. Number one is not filing at all. We have so many people that are not filing returns, apparently. You think many Kenyans are filing returns. We have a very big portion of people that don't file returns. They come to realize it's hard on them when they want a tax compliance certificate, the TCC. And then you realize this guy has not filed returns for the last 8 years. And now they have a penalty of 2,000 for all those years. Now it's 16,000. Someone has a company, it's been 4 years. They opened a company because they wanted a tender somewhere. They have never filed the returns. Now, for a company, lack of filing returns is 20,000. Now imagine 20,000 for 4 years. Someone else is registered for VAT. Monthly returns, if you don't file, it's 10,000. They have not filed for 10 months. That's 100,000. And now they need a tax compliance certificate. So the first thing is these people just open companies, they just register for VAT, just register for PE, and they don't file returns at the end of the day. That's one of the mistakes that I've seen many people do. The second mistake I've seen people do is not validating your invoice. After the items issue has come, many people have now found a mechanism of running away from items generated invoice. So you generate an invoice that has not it has not yet gotten to the KRA side. So you have an invoice that is written items, but it is not backed by KRA. You go to check it on your side, it's not there. So the second mistake is every time you're given an items generated invoice, especially from someone who you're not aware of, there is a code that you're supposed to verify it. You're supposed to go in your items or in your account and verify whether the invoice you are given actually reflected on your side. So that is the second problem I've seen many people do. The third one is lack of bookkeeping. Many businesses in Kenya don't have proper bookkeeping. They don't have accountants. They have nothing to know about it. And nowadays, you must not employ an accountant full time. You can have someone who comes Monday, weekly, daily in the evening. They must not be in your business throughout. You can just employ them on part-time and they ensure that your books are correct. Or rather, you can enroll for a training to just know the basics of preparing the basic books of account, a cash flow, a ledger book, a trial balance, a general ledger, all these simple books of account, so that you ensure you have proper bookkeeping. That one is under declaring. This will catch up with people. When KRA finally runs at your door for auditing, because they audit for the last 5 years, you pay taxes you've never imagined just because of under declaring. And then there will be penalties, 20% penalty, 30% penalty on your 5 years. The worst thing for a businessman is sitting on a special table. It's something every businessman should avoid and should never dream. Every time you dream of sitting on a special table, kind of wake up, take a bath, and just refresh and tell your God, may I never sit on the special table. It's never a good time, especially if you've been under declaring. So I request my business people just ensure that you are declaring the right transactions and your filing actually matches your financial activity. Yeah.
Looking at the new direction, the new tax compliance,
Yes.
And you explained you pay 30% of tax,
Yes.
then 70 it's for yours to enjoy. But still, these teams, it feels like overtaxation. Why would I pay and file why would I file my returns and that whenever I want to buy sugar, unga, I still have to pay a tax? Don't you feel like this is double taxation? Because you have seen other countries using other other taxation models like Cayman Island. They don't do they actually are no free tax country, but still they're growing. They only tax tourists and stuff. Why can't we just borrow their model instead of the direction we are going? Because it feel like double taxation.
Okay, I will respond to that by saying this. There are people called policymakers, and there are people responsible for shaping our country, taxes its people, and our country grows its economy. And there is always public participation. So we cannot just move from what we're doing and go somewhere else. We need people called policymakers to sit down and ask themselves, is what we're doing the right thing? Like 844 CBC. You've seen all these movements are a result of policymakers. So we should speak directly to our policymakers and ask whether there are other viable options we can take. Because most of what we do maybe is guided by IMF, is guided by our leaders, is guided by the internal policymakers and what they feel is the right thing for us. So we might not directly copy from what they're doing. You might realize even Tanzania, a neighboring country, we don't have the same policies with them. Uganda, a neighboring country, we don't have the same policies with them, depending on the policymakers in each country. So it might be hard to compare ourselves with them, but it's good when addressing the policymakers and tell them, come on, the other economies doing better than us, and they are not overtaxing their people. When we sit on a conversation of addressing policymakers, I think I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say on addressing policymakers. But today, we're asking ourselves, this is where we are. How do we help the common mwananchi adjust and come to terms with these are our policies and we need to comply for the sake of following the law?
Yeah, actually, I think what we need to do is we need to have another sit down here of tax policies. So we understand our policy making systems and if our current legislatures are doing it right.
Sure.
I think that should be a heated debate here. But for now, allow us to dive immediately to our viewers. They're asking so many questions. I'm actually not so sure we are going to handle them all, but I'll try my best. So immediately, let's start with Kim. Kim is asking what happens if someone has never filed returns for years because they didn't know how. Can they still fix things without heavy penalties?
Well, if you've not filed for 5 years and yours is a personal PIN at 2,000 times 5, that is 10,000 on penalty. Once in a while, KRA gives amnesty or waivers. You can always take advantage of them. Number 2, you can take advantage of paying in installments. KRA has a place for that. You go and say, I have a loan or a penalty of 10,000. I want to be paying 1,000 every month until you're done. KRA will allow that. They will ask you how much you want to be paying. On the other hand is if you want a TCC tomorrow, tax compliance certificate, and you have a penalty of 10,000, you have to pay.
Yes. Kim lazima ulipe. I think that is loud and clear, but you can take advantage of the waivers that come occasionally.
Yes.
TikTok creators, influencers, YouTubers, digital coaches.
Yes.
Are they supposed to pay taxes even if brands pay them through M-Pesa?
Now, very soon, brands will stop paying you through M-Pesa.
Okay.
Yeah, for compliance purposes. They want to ensure that expense they pay to you is reflecting somewhere in their books of account and through intims. What will happen is now they will come after you for withholding tax. That is a service that is offered. The 5% you'll have to remit it. And now, if we go on the way we're going, and now we have to come to your bank account and your M-Pesa, you'll have to pay us the 30%. But we are not yet there. At the moment, if a brand pays you, there will be a withholding tax for you, and you have to pay it.
Wow. And Sheila is also asking, she's actually saying it's not a question but an observation about landlords who are demanding rent in cash only because of taxes.
Okay.
What's your comment about that observation?
Of course, these are measures, these are people trying to evade tax by receiving money in cash. Of course, every time there is a law that is passed, people would always try to bend the law and see how they maneuver with the law to ensure that they don't pay taxes. So I think it's a response of we have to pay taxes now, rather than asking for cash money. But sooner than we think, KRA is catching up with them. And I think it's the high time, we are not ready for the conversation, but it's the high time we accept that taxation is part of our lives, our day-to-day activities. It's a culture we need to instill. We are not yet there, but we need to come there. That's my best thing. That is what I'm insisting today. We need to come to terms with the culture of paying taxes to the government.
Wow, I think Sheila, that has been made clear to you that.
So for Sheila,
yes.
she just have to pay how the landlord is asking, cash. Just pay what the landlord is asking, because if you don't pay cash, they will send you away. But sooner than you think, KRA is catching up.
And maybe for Sheila, I presume she's not employed, and she won't. There's something we were talking about, nil returns.
Yes, yes.
Do we still have nil returns?
We still have nil returns, but for someone without income.
Okay.
Nil return means you had zero income in the year 2025.
Like most of us.
No. Most of us didn't have zero income.
But what about in the year 2025? You had income, then in between the income, you lost a job, maybe the business collapsed. Are you going to file a nil return when it comes to 2026?
There is a difference between nil return and paying zero tax. Nil return is declaring you didn't have any income. Paying zero returns is where after filing you had 20,000 income in the year 2025, and then there is a monthly relief of 2,400 every month. After we compute all that, your tax equals zero. So you had an income of 100,000, but it's below the taxable income. You see? So you don't file nil return when you actually earn an income. You file the normal returns, the file returns one, but you will not pay anything because what you earned was below taxable income. I think I've been able to.
What if whatever you earned does not have any digital track?
Any digital track? What do you mean by digital track?
For instance,
Yes.
I went to a kibarua. I was an MC in a certain wedding. I was paid 10,000 cash. How am I supposed now to declare that as income?
How are you supposed to declare that an income? You see, there is the point of you answering your gross income. When we're filing returns under that Excel sheet, there is a row for my R&L. There is the row for your gross income. So you're supposed to say, I had 10,000 from MC, I had 5,000 from Kibarua, I went, so I had 20,000. You declare 20,000 in your gross income. That's where you're supposed to declare it.
So they can accept that.
They can accept that.
But they have a problem with accepting expenses that is not.
Yes, they have a problem with that.
You people. Let's
problem is
proceed
not
with our
income, it's
questions here.
expenses, yeah.
Philip in Rizambu is asking a very good question.
Okay.
He's asking, my business makes losses. I think you've answered through Karen. Is making losses. Am I still supposed to pay taxes? Maybe in a minute.
No. You not pay tax. If you had losses, the only thing you need to do is validate the losses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Philip, that is clear. Somebody is saying, time to pay to Caesar. It's a lot. And a crying emoji. Yeah. And they are saying that KRA keeps saying everything is digital now, but many small business owners still don't understand e-teams. I think that's just a comment. Ian is also asking, can KRA freeze your bank account?
KRA can actually freeze your bank account, but this only happens after auditing.
Okay.
Not just on a normal day. They have to come to your office and audit you. If you're not able to validate and you're not able to pay the dues that come as a result of the audit, then they freeze your bank account. But it's the last resort. It's way after mumesumbuana kidogo, and then you are not able to pay, they freeze your bank account.
I think we need to chase a rat here. Esther is asking a very good question. She's saying, I'm curious because I know people become rich. I know people become rich by not paying taxes. Is there a difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion in simple terms?
Yes, there is a difference. And there is something Karen said about the common mwananchi feeling overtaxed and all that. The taxman is actually not so much the common mwananchi. The common mwananchi earns 1,000. The 30% of that is actually 300. There is another guy that is earning in millions and they are not paying taxes. So if you feel there is a pinch, KRA is not after you only. It's after so many people that are ensuring your loans are not built just because they are not paying tax. You are the smallest compared to very many other economic players that are not paying tax. Yes, there is a difference. There are legal ways of not paying tax, and they are like employing people with disability. There is something that you're supposed to be deducted there, like corporate social responsibility. That money is not taxed. That is why in our home village you see the tea tea farms, factories are responsible for maintaining our loans. That money is not taxed because it's corporate social responsibility. So there are the ethical ways of not paying tax, but they are unethical. So yes, that is the answer.
No, there's the first segment I think we would want to address, that people become rich by not paying taxes.
Well, yes, you read Robert Kiyosaki, he says the rich people don't pay tax, but they only utilize this, the thing I'm telling you, the corporate social responsibility and other ethical ways of tax avoidance, not really evading tax. Yes, they are there. True, rich people don't pay tax. They open NGOs, they open all these things, and non-governmental organization and community-based organizations don't do that. But they don't discuss it.
Amazing. How serious is KRA becoming about digital receipts and electronic invoicing? How ni rumors na mchezo ya town?
It is becoming very serious. We have not felt it for 2025. 2026 we will feel it. Because every company now, I have a brother who works as an accountant, and he's telling me they are changing so many suppliers. Just because the supplier is not willing to comply, things will change. I've tried filing returns as late as today morning, and it is a big hassle to validate expenses that did not pass through e-teams. Any business that are coming to my way, I'm telling them, let's register e-teams and try as much as you can to ensure all your expenses are passing through e-teams. Failure to which we end up paying more than what we actually made in profits. It's not a joke. These guys are serious by the look of things.
Mambo ni serious. Nikumoto. Somebody is asking if someone made money abroad remotely while living in Kenya, does KRA still expect tax on that income?
If people made money,
sharp boys.
Yes.
If sharp boys made money, from Maju, but they are still here in Kenya.
Yes.
That money was not made from any Kenyan sources. Is KRA still expecting them to pay anything?
Yes, there is a lot we don't know about tax law. You see, even if you have a company outside Kenya, but most of its errands are run in Kenya, you have to pay Kenyan tax.
True.
If you are a Kenyan and actually now residing in Kenya, and you're making money from Kenya, but you're making money through your foreign ways, you have to pay all the dues in Kenya. It's that serious. Yes.
But what about those people who work abroad, but they do come visit Kenya? Do they still have to pay taxes?
Are they Kenyans?
Yes, they are Kenyans.
They have to pay remittance.
So there's also a law guiding people working abroad?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
And there is a tax also. There is the money they must send home.
Wow. I think that is whatever.
Yes.
What's the biggest red flag that immediately attracts KRA attention to a business?
The first red flag is under declaring. Under declaring, you see, filing nil return or filing very small returns at the end of the day, and yet you had big incomes. The second one is you're making big purchases, big purchases. You recently imported an SUV from China. You brought a mzigo, mtumba worth 2 million. All this is attracting the KRA eye towards your side. You have so many employees. They are comparing. You see, there is integration of government services as you speak. So ensuring as you're making big purchases, as you're under declaring your bank account, there are a lot of transactions happening. Those are red flags to KRA, and they are able to see. And actually, they come to these people. The small players, 100,000, 20,000, 30,000. They are not at our level because there are so many millionaires not paying tax. So if you are in the level of 1 million and above, just comply. KRA is coming sooner than you think. Yes.
Wow, and there's a patriot named Peter here asking, can tax compliance actually help someone grow their business instead of hurting it?
So much. Getting a loan, you need a tax compliance certificate. How do you get it? It's by being compliant. Number 2, donations and grants, you need to be compliant. Number 3, the losses that actually come with KRA. If you just hear KRA knocking your door, and you know you've been under declaring, you can be sure you are just about to cross. And these people can even seize your assets. They can auction you. So compliance actually helps you run smoothly in your business field. And again, when you contribute to paying taxes, I believe it's what is making that road passing just next to your business to be made. So it's making our country as an economy better. There are countries that have better economies, and that is only possible through our taxation. So you might think you're not contributing, but directly you are contributing to the general growth of our economy.
Amazing.
Yes.
And if someone accidentally files wrong information, can they amend?
Yes, there is amendment.
Okay.
We can always amend. KRA allows for that, but it must be within the period stipulated. January to June 30th for income tax, and before 20th for pay, for VAT, and before 9th for pay. Yes.
Allow me to appreciate all of us. Time really flies when we are having some wonderful conversations here. But allow me to remind you that on the 3rd of July, our anniversary, we'll be celebrating our anniversary. Faith Today Television will be turning 3 years old, and this has been made possible by you, our viewer. You're the person who have been sharing our content, supporting us, praying for us, and even engaging with us. You are the people that, especially through platforms like Kingdom Business Networks, we've seen transformation together, we've seen impact, we've seen growth. Don't shy away from sharing your testimonies. Make us see, let the world see that through our engagements, your life, your business has become better. And just to remind you that that day you're most welcome. Our ticket will be running only for 5,000. We'll be here at Blessed House, just opposite Garden City. Make sure you buy your ticket as early as possible. And even if you want to market or promote your business, we also have different packages for the same. Don't miss this opportunity. Let us grow together. Karen, kindly give a parting shot as we wind up our episode.
Thank you, Coach Lewis. Today's discussion has been eye-opening. That's what I can say. Compliance is no longer about filing nil returns or filing returns only. It is your obligation. It is going to help you to be transparent, to be honest, and to direct growth to the country. So thank you so much, Brian, for giving us your insights.
Wow. And thank you so much, Karen, for also helping us navigate through that wonderful session easily. Ndome, Brian, these people are eager to engage with you. These people want to connect with you. I can assure you that the confusion around taxes is in big chunks. And it is courtesy of people like you that we are able now to think simpler and make our businesses work better. So kindly tell our viewer how they can get hold of you, how they can engage with you, and how you can be of help to them.
Thank you. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And I want to thank Faith Today TV especially for bringing an eye-opener. There is just very little we can cover here. Our teacher used to tell us that he's only able to give us 25% of the coursework. 75% is our work. Now that 75% is between me and you. We need to have a conversation and engage more and more, so that you don't have to fall under the penalties of KRA and also under the clearing, not able to file. And that is why we are here as financial managers. So we are there for you. We are willing to help you. I have 3 or 4 as we speak that are struggling with big penalties. We don't know what to do. We can only pay or wait for waivers. Others are stranded, waiting for June 30th. That final week of June 20th to June 30th, we'll have so many things. KRA system will be lagging. You all know how our systems in Kenya operate. If all of us are 1,000 front there, we are not able to file, and I want to pose a challenge. It costs billions to make these websites and they keep on lagging. What I'm saying is, don't wait for the last minute. We can do it now. My name is Ndome Brand. You can get me on Facebook, on TikTok at Ndome Brand. That is where you get me. But my official phone number is 0768409742. 0768409742. For all your tax-related issues, we are there to sort you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Ndome Brand. That has been insightful. That has been amazing. And thank you for even the benevolence of your wisdom and the knowledge that you've shared with us on this platform. This has been Kingdom Business Network. I have been your host, Digital Coach Lewis Ndege. And until next time, bye-bye.